Yo, it's Snow, baby. Yo, it's your boy Note, and we are back on the Note Show. What's good on this midnight edition, 1 in the morning on a beautiful Monday morning? All right, let's start off. It was a crazy fight card, UFC. Man, let's just get into it. Before I go into anything about what happened this weekend on the UFC fight card, I really want to put out that these kicks right now are becoming the new thing in the UFC. Shout out to Anthony Smith, won his by, kicking Jimmy. And let me say this about Jimmy. Jimmy was whooping that ass when he was on top. I mean, his leg was like Anthony Smith destroyed his leg, his right leg, with them kicks, and I'm gonna be real, that man was jumping on him like one-legged and beating his ass on ground control. I mean, it would have been very interesting to see what would happen if Anthony Smith wouldn't have continued to kick. But the reason I want to say this is we go into the next fight with Uriah Hall and Chris Weidman, which was, listen, it was so hard to see Chris Weidman snap his leg. I mean, it's snapped. It's snapped. I mean, you see right there where Chris Weidman goes up, ready to land a leg kick, and Uriah Hall's ready, checks it. As he checks it, it's the snaps. I mean, and you got to remember, Chris Weidman is the one that snapped Anderson Silva's leg. All right, okay? Anderson Silva was the GOAT, and at the time, Chris Weidman beat him, okay? The last person to beat Anderson Silva before he retired of UFC was Uriah Hall. It's just all weird circumstances. It was crazy. It was crazy, okay? And then we lead up to the next fight, okay? This is where the conversation can get a little bit more interesting. We can talk a little bit more man, every time I say her name, it is always hard. Valentina Shevchenko, okay? We're Valentina versus Jessica Andrade. Pure dominance. There is nothing you can say about that performance. What can you really say? Do you have anything to say about it that was anything but besides one-sided beast mode? The only thing we were all thinking is Jessica Andrade could probably get her on the ground, maybe slow her down. Nothing. Valentino came in there and just like mollywopped her down to get her on the ground. I think in the second round, side control, and just hammer fist. No, she didn't hammer fist him. She straight just elbowed the crap out of her until it was TKO. There was nothing there. I think at this point we should say for Valentino and Amanda Nunes to just fight and go after that either flyweight, bantam. I don't care however they fight. I'd love to see them fight. I mean, at this point, they're the only two in each other's way. I mean, who else is there? Who else is there that we want to see? I mean, those two are just there. There's no one that can mess with either one of them. I'd love to see the rematch. The match was just pure dominance for Valentino. She just, from the beginning to start, was ground control, throwing on the ground. I think she had like six takedowns on Jessica Andrade. It was just pure dominance, man. It was a pure dominance performance from Valentino. I've never seen her do the ground game like that. So it was just something new out of nowhere. You know, probably the only fight that really didn't have nothing to do with kicks, right? So then we go to what I personally have just waited for the whole fight. This is why I was watching it, to be personal. I love Rose. So Rose and Wei Zhang, okay? It was such an epic fight, okay? And listen, anyone, okay, and FYI, before I even start this, Valentino trained with Rose for this fight. If people don't know that, they were actually training with each other. So, fight starts, okay? WEILI probably had like two leg kicks. Starts off with the leg kicks, okay? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she's going to do the leg kicks. She's going to get her with her legs. She's going to make sure she can't hit her because, you know, Rose has those hands. She doesn't want to feel that power. Out of nowhere, Rose hits her with a head kick, knocks her clean out, jumps on her in side control to push her on the ground, and just straight hammer fists her until the ref calls her TKO. She is now the victorious and, again, champion. It was one of the most All right, listen. As a fan, it was beautiful. It was the most beautifulest knockout I've seen. I mean, I've seen a lot of knockouts, but it was just beautiful to see Rose get that knockout. To go through all that, to lose to Andrade, to go through all that fighting, that perseverance where she didn't want to fight. To see her go through all that, not to have real confidence in herself. To see someone that struggles with that. Struggles with the fact that she's a born bred fighter, but still doesn't feel that way. Like to see her go through that, and everyone feels that way. Insecurity is basically what we're talking about. To see her battle through all that and then still come back and get her championship for the second time was amazing. To see her knock her out like that was amazing. It was beautiful. I think we all fans and people in that stadium that night got to be a part of something great, to witness her. It was amazing. The knockout was amazing. To see Rose get that championship, and you could see how she took it for granted. You could tell she took it for granted the last time, because she holds onto that belt so tight the last time that she just got it last night, and holds it tight, and she's just crying and crying. You could see the how much it meant. I mean, excuse me, not last night, but Saturday night. How much it meant to Rose, and how much you could tell like she missed it. It was just it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I can't even explain. It was so beautiful. I just it was beautiful to MMA that night, that moment. Just beautiful history. I believe we just saw history. I believe that Rose will go on to be greater than she was beforehand. It was beautiful. All right. I don't really care about the last fight. I'm not really, against Usman and Jose Monsteroff. I will say this though. Where does Street Jesus go now? All right, and I say this because you talking all that shit. The man knocks you out with his hands. And not only did he knock Monsteroff off, he knocked him off and he flew. When he knocked him out, he flew flying. He was asleep before he even hit that ground. Super, super embarrassing. But I guess it goes to show that you got to start looking at Usman as probably one of the GOATs now. The man's unstoppable. Can't nobody. He's unstoppable. There's no one else I see that's going to be messing with him. It's just repeats now, just repeats. So, again, I think Monsteroff will probably have to go back to Nate Diaz to do a little good money fight. But pretty much, I think he, that was his last fight. I don't see Monsteroff getting a shot like that. And I think that Monsteroff playing, as you look at the fight, Monsteroff was beating the shit out of him in the first round to me. He got him on the ground, but those elbows, he was for a minute there, you were like, oh my God, shit, it looks like, if he keeps this up, he might be able to win this for real. But, when you see the stand-up improvements that Usman made, it's pretty much exactly what Usman was saying. He shut me up with that. I wasn't expecting to see that. Knocked that man and made him fly. But I had my money on either one. I could care less on that end. He's not really a good, exciting fighter to me. But he definitely got my respect. Seeing that, if you didn't respect him, you better respect him now. He made him Jose Monsteroff fly and knock out at the same time. So. He's becoming a universal fighter. It's looking like. His ground game. His wrestling is superb, but jiu-jitsu, I don't know all about that. But his wrestling and his stand-up is looking superb. He's gonna be a champion until he doesn't want to be. So far, it doesn't look like anybody's gonna be in that realm to mess with Usman at this point. And we really didn't think that Monsteroff was going to win. I think some of us kind of was hoping just to see that from Monsteroff because he has been a journeyman. He has put the work in. Kind of want to see someone like that get the belt at least and then retire, or at least get something out of it, But, at the end of the night, it's anyone's fight, and that's real. But it was a beautiful card. UFC 261, I got to say, was probably one of the most enjoyment. I enjoyed the fights. It was pretty quick knockouts, but it definitely you couldn't really look away at all. First night of the year, finally, it's been a year since all the crowd being back, and if I was in the crowd, you got your money's worth, even more. I think the women's is just stacked. You got what? You got Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, if I can say her name right, Rose, Namajunas. I can't even say her name right, but you got Rose. I mean, these are three stacked women. So I think they're gonna have some good fights coming for them. I'm pretty sure Wei Zhang, my fault, is probably gonna want a rematch with Rose, which I mean I'd love to see it either way, but that fight was insane. UFC 261 was beautiful. Okay, so now I want to get into my review. I want to review Mortal Kombat. Okay, if you grew up playing any type of video games, Nintendo, whatever, Mortal Kombat. I mean, Game Boy. If you played Game Boy, you played Mortal Kombat. It was just. I remember when my first Game Boy, it came with Mortal Kombat. Am I a Mortal Kombat fan? I love Mortal Kombat, but I'm not a geek. I'm not geeking it. I'm not gonna sit here and play with you like I'm a geek. I'm not when it comes to this. But I know some of my lore when it comes to Mortal Kombat because I mean we played the games for so long. I don't know where the hell this new character they put in for the movie. And if you haven't watched the movie yet or haven't seen it, do not watch this. This is straight spoiling. So the movie basically starts off with they go back to the original of how Sub-Zero and Scorpion started banging with each other. And if you know that, then you know that Sub-Zero comes and kills Scorpion's whole family. Scorpion and kills Scorpion. The Scorpion goes to hell. Then comes back, vengeance, and his whole thing is killing Sub-Zero. They both had a problem with each other. It's lore that's even more that I'm not gonna go like I know so much of it, but it's pretty much standard. If you play the video game, you know pretty much what it is. I mean, they've been banging. They hate each other. It's like the Bloods and Crips, the way they make Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Instead of red and blue, it's yellow and blue. That's how it is. They don't like each other. They different gangs every time they see each other. And try to kill each other. So we know that. But they brought it to where Scorpion's ancestor is a descendant, have powers or whatever. And we've never seen whoever this guy is. I think it's like Cole Young or something. So they invented a whole new character to put into the movie. Didn't like it. Anyways, basically they all start banging. Only one person dies. Somebody cool with Liu Kang, and Liu Kang's scrawny as hell in the movie, and he looks young, and we all know the fate of Liu Kang to get killed by Raiden. I mean, if you're a Liu Kang fan, it kind of sucks to be Liu Kang. But I mean, one thing to know about the whole Mortal Kombat thing is it's like General Hospital. Everybody come back to life somehow. I mean, that's something that just happens. But I feel like they rushed the movie. It was pushed a little bit, and let me get back to what I was saying. So Scorpion, we know it's about Scorpion's ancestor, Koi Young, whatever his name is. They reinvent this character. And they're just trying to bang, basically, trying to get to the Mortal Kombat tournament or whatever. And this is before, so the Mortal Kombat tournament hasn't even started because I'm presuming that this is going to be like a trilogy or a 3, whatever. They're leading up to something. So, and you never get up to the leadment because they all battle each other. It doesn't get to the point yet because Raiden's got his people trying to get ready, and they got, I guess in this one, they're born with a dragon, like a dragon mark, like off of the Mortal Kombat sign, and it gives you powers. So they don't have the powers from the video games. It just it infuses and becomes a power source for them when it gets closer to the actual, I guess, tournament. Which makes no fucking sense because the never heard it before. Just a whole new gimmick they put to it. So it threw me off. I'm like, what? So now what? You don't really get to see too many places. The other realm worlds, you don't really get to see it, which I would have liked to see more, being more in that, a little bit better than they had. Looks like they put a little bit more money in CGI than they did anything. very quick. I think it's an hour and 50 minutes. It's not that long. There's stuff in the movie that they don't give you enough time to get into the characters. There's a lot of stuff that you see involving other characters that you kind of want to get a little bit more into. You're like, why are they arguing with each other? Or like, what, there should be more. Like, because some people don't know the lore. You gotta read it then, or you gotta go into it and figure it out. It's a lot to it. And one thing about Mortal Kombat is just like X-Men. They're everywhere. Shabing, bang, bang, boom. They're everywhere. I remember watching X-Men as a kid's cartoon. You'd see one episode, the next episode be on some whole other shit. You'd be like, hold on, what happened to, and you don't even know until like maybe in 17 different episodes. Their universe and everything is just always, it's crazy. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more. And I know that they're probably going to do another one, but I'm not impressed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think it's shitty. I mean, some people might like it. I mean, the only thing I will give you that you will be impressed and that they can say is that it's probably the best ever as far as, fatalities, the best ever, hands down. But as far as storyline, I like the first storylines. These storylines are shitty. Do better. I mean, as far as a fan, I mean, of course, I'm going to watch it. It's Mortal Kombat. I'll probably watch it if they make another one. But I'd probably give it like 2.5 stars. It's getting 2.5 stars for the No Show. That's what we're going to give it. Yeah, I would nothing. I would wait to go to theaters to see. Sorry, nothing. Yeah. A little bit more disappointed. Waited for it for a long time. Heard about it for about 4 years. Finally seen it. Wasn't that impressed. Yeah. So moving on. After saying all that, it's the No Show, baby. I'm your host, Note Man, and I'll be back next time. I'm out. It's the No Show.
Yo, it's Snow, baby.